Everybody, welcome back to NFCV. As you can see, we are outside Kavanagh's head house here in Philly. I'm joined by this man, John, one of our American residents who follows Newcastle. He comes over to Newcastle. First of all, why do you go to St. James's Park? Why did you do all the distance? Because I've done the distance here, and that was tough.
There's I tell people there's three reasons. First, Mida. My father was born in Newcastle, so my family's originally from Newcastle. Two, we are the Geordies, and Davy Craig, my spirit animal. And so the second thing is Davy Craig and all the wonderful fans out there. Everybody's so humble, they're wonderful. And the third thing is cans. So when everybody was, when the takeover happened, all the 20 and 30-year-olds were out in front of the club and they're celebrating. And I'm like, that's me, I gotta be there. So immediately I bought a ticket to the first match. We played Tottenham. We lost the game, but everybody was in the right frame of mind. It was wonderful, Lee. It was just wonderful.
Was that just that release of a new beginning, wasn't it?
Oh God, it was good because it was like we have hope again. You know, everything's going to get better, and it really did. You know, we thought 2 to 3 to 4 years maybe, but it was like a year and a half, and here we are, 4th in the Premier League, going to Champions League. It's been fantastic. The ride started long ago, and you know, because of my connection to Newcastle, but it really took off in the last couple of years. It's been wonderful.
It's been a wonderful time for all the Geordies the last year and a half or so. Obviously, the club are out in, you know, across the states, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and New Jersey / New York. What does it mean for you, as American, for the club to come to your backyard?
Oh, it's fantastic.
And, you know, engage with the fan base over here?
First of all, it's wonderful. I told Darren Eales, I saw him a couple of times. I said, Darren, this is wonderful. I don't have to spend all my money to go across the pond, and I get to see 3 games in 1 week. So I'll be at all 3.
Us, yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
But is it big for the club for the following? They've talked about the following.
Yeah.
They've talked about the engagement. We know it's big in Saudi Arabia. They're trying to grow the profile.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is, you know, so-called bigger clubs with a bigger following in the States, you know, your Man Uniteds, your Chelseas and Liverpools. But, you know, the club are here trying to engage local fans who support Newcastle and trying to get more on board. How important is it from a commercial point of view and engagement for the club to do this?
Well, it's a couple things. If we could get the club to come over every once or 2 years, you know, it would be great because it would really build our base. Liverpool and Man United have a big start on us because they have so much commercial operation, and they've got a fan base because they've been good. And that's the wrong reason to be a fan base, okay? No plastic fans here. We're all like,
well, we've won nothing since 1969.
We're all in full time.
Because we don't win trophies.
Yeah. But we'll be there, you know, and we're on our way. And we've been close so many times, you know, back in the 90s and we're going to be there again. So.
Coming up with the season, obviously the signings, Harvey Barnes was just literally announced this morning, and of course we've got Toon Army in as well. Champions League, as you touched upon, John. So, do you think this season coming up is going to be tougher with the extra workload? Can Newcastle keep up there or thereabouts in the top 4?
Yeah, I hope we're top 4 or top 6 again this year. It's going to be a challenge just to stay where we are because last year you saw Aston Villa improve, you saw Brighton really improve. They had long runs during the season, and they were tough. We had a great end-of-year match. I was there for the Brighton match. It was, 1-1 or 2-2 at the end, and then we got 2 quick goals at the end and blew it away. Yeah, 4-1. So it was 2-1 we were winning, and then we blew it out, you know, with Callum Wilson got a goal, and Bruno got a goal, so it was 4-1. But they're a good team. You know, they're playing us tough.
I want to just ask you, is it such a bad thing the club don't make the top 4 but still continue in Europe? Is the progression where we've got to stay in Europe now? Even in whatever competition, whether it's Europa League or Champions League, is that more important?
I think it's a big expectation, you know. So it's a balance, you know. It's like, do we just go for one of these FA Cup or Champions League or, you know, or do we just want to stay up, you know? And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle, but the good thing is we got young players coming up. You know, we got Miley, and we got Elliot Anderson, and they should get minutes this year. They really need to get minutes because we need more work, just people ready for games and that kind of thing, because injuries will happen, right? So we're going to need them ready. And I feel comfortable when they come in, they bring youth energy. So there's nothing wrong with that. You take a guy out who's very experienced and is good at scoring goals, but he's been in there for 60 minutes. Put these guys in, those fresh legs, get them in there. So.
And the last question then, what you're most looking forward to with these 3 games coming up? Is it the interaction with, you mentioned Darren Neal, Shea Given, Shola? Is it seeing the new signings? Is it interacting with the fans? Or is it just a collective everything?
It's collective joy, okay? It's collective joy. That's what's so unique and fun about the Newcastle experience. I'm half brothers with all these people now. I mean, you're wearing the shirt, you're half brother with me, and it's been great. And this is my mate right here, Dan from Monterey.
How you doing?
Monterey.
Good to see you guys.
Monterey, California.
Dan, why do you support Newcastle? Why?
I've been a Newcastle supporter since 93, 94. My college roommates were Manchester United and Liverpool supporters, and I don't look good in red.
Fair enough.
So if I was gonna watch Match of the Day highlights with them, I had to pick a team, and black and white stripes just look good on me.
And you've been stuck with them ever since. And what do you make of all this, the club interacting with, because it's not every day that Newcastle comes to your door.
No. So I've seen Newcastle twice in the U.S. before. I saw them in 2011 in Kansas City, and I saw them in 2015 in Sacramento, both under the old administration. No, it's fantastic that we're making these connections again. We're reconnecting the club.
Sorry, but do you feel as American, because you're so far away, do you feel now that you've got a connection now with the club?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Much better than the last 14 years before this. Absolutely. We are about as close as we can be. I mean, if we can be local, we can be local, and I think this is about as close as you can get to it. So I appreciate the effort that the club is putting into reconnecting. They could go anywhere for preseason. They could go to Thailand, they could go to Singapore, they could go to, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, to come to the United States again to, again, put down a flag and say, we're coming. We are a sleeping giant, and it's going to happen.
I've just asked John there, what's the biggest thing that you're looking forward to with these 3 games? I asked John there about, is it this, the whole fans getting together? Is it meeting Darren Neal, Shola and Shea Given? Is it seeing the new signings, Harvey Barnes, because he was announced, Toon Army? Or is it just a mixture of it all together?
I think it's all together. I've known Shola for over 20 years now. We met him when he was 19 on my honeymoon in Newcastle.
Your honeymoon in Newcastle?
My wife surprised me with a Tyneside honeymoon. We're the honeytuners in Newcastle.
That's why she's still your wife.
So and to this day, and she would normally be here, but she's the prop mistress in a local community theater production of the Addams Family musical. Wow. So she couldn't make it to this one. So but I've known Shola for years. I think it's all of it. It's fantastic that what I'm looking forward to is seeing the new signings bed in. I mean, seeing Toon Army against Rangers the other night, you know what a player we've got. I loved Maxi. I love Maxi to death. I mean, he was the shining light in the last several years. But if that's the sacrifice we need to make in order to get a player like Barnes, you look at the numbers, there's no comparison. And he's willing to do the work, and he's English. I mean, when you start looking at all the Champions League qualifications, everything starts to dial in. It goes back to the fact that we've got the connection of the club to the fan base. We've been a dormant fan base in the United States now for about 14 years because the other administration couldn't give a shit. Now we've got people who know what we're capable of. You got people like Kayla here in Philadelphia. You've got folks down in Atlanta. You got Darren Neal's, background in Atlanta. You come out to California. We'll show you fans out there as well.
Well, that's on my bucket list, LA.
There you go, LA, Bay Area. Come up to San Francisco, San Jose. Come down to Monterey Bay. Frank Yallop is there. He's our coach. I'm just excited about all of it. I'm excited to see the fan base get the opportunity to introduce themselves again to this new ownership. I'm excited to see the new players bed in. I'm excited to see the club that we know and love and support and have supported through the dark ages, we're seeing them come to life again. It's exciting, all of it. So when you ask, it's an amalgamation of everything. So
excellent. Thank you very much for saying that. Thank you.
I watch you all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.